Greetings and welcome to Fresh Fire International Ministries Wisdom Wednesday. I'm Pastor Janice Fareed Hardy. I want to urge us to not leave Resurrection Sunday too quickly, to not walk away from what many call the 7 last words of Jesus on the cross too swiftly, because so much wisdom for our everyday life is packed into those sayings. Whether you stay on the surface of those sayings or whether you drill down and go deep into them, you will always find profound truth and application in each one. And those sayings appear below in the box below. Don't leave too quickly, because there is one truth that is not specifically written in those sayings, but it's like a heartbeat pumping behind each one of them, and it's also a heartbeat that pumps throughout all of Jesus's gospel. And that truth answers the question, what do you do when there is nothing you can do? What do you do when there is nothing that you can do? On the cross, Jesus gave us the answer to that question because he willingly put himself in a position where he could do nothing. I said he willingly put himself in a position where he could do absolutely nothing. He put himself into a situation willingly where he was helpless. And yes, we know Jesus had the power to get off the cross or even to call down legions of angels. But being on mission, Jesus chose to stay on that cross and be the sacrifice for us, for our salvation, for our restored relationship with the Father. Jesus chose to purposely place himself in the middle of a situation where there was nothing he could do. And praise God for doing that, because we certainly did not deserve it, and he did what we could not do for ourselves. So since Jesus modeled this for us, let's look at Jesus' answer to that question, what do you do when there is nothing you can do? Now the church, there are a lot of churchy answers for that question, and they may work for a while, but there can come a time when those things run out of time. There can come a time when those things, they're still important to do, but they won't give you any peace. You can get to the point where those things will not give you peace. For example, churchy people will tell you, just stand, okay? And Ephesians 6:13 actually says, and having done all, when you've done everything you can, stand. Let me give you an example. It's one that I use a lot. I know of a woman who thought she was happily married until she got saved. Then that unsaved husband, who did not want her to be saved, and he was not about to be saved, he protested and he started having affairs. He started using drugs. He started going away for several days at a time without her knowing where he was. She had gotten into a church prayer group, her church prayer group, and the more they prayed, the Lord kept telling them all, confirming to them all that she should stay in the marriage. And she did for nearly 16 years before her husband finally wore himself out and went and got saved. Okay, and now, okay, they become ordained pastors, and they're also in a church, lead a church ministry. So her standing, it was hard for her, and it actually wore down her self-respect and everything else. But God brought her husband around. Now, I also know the flip side of that. I know of many situations where standing did not lead to the results that the person wanted, okay? Standing is something we must do. It's a good thing to do. But standing has nothing to do with the results. Too often we confuse, if we stand, we'll get what we want. No. Standing will not necessarily bring you the results you desire. Standing builds you up from the inside out. It builds up your inner person, okay? Your inner spirit. So standing often has more to do with you than it has to do with the results that you want. Since its birth, And actually, from the beginning of time, Jesus stood. He would stand. He stood strong through all the nurturing of his earthly parents, through praise and condemnation, through lies and truths, through betrayal, through the physical beatdown, and even through the unjustified murder. Jesus stood. He stood through it all. And on the cross, okay, it came to a point where he could not stand like that anymore, okay? It wasn't appropriate. It wasn't fitting. It wasn't even possible for him to stand like that, like he had been standing in his earthly life anymore. You can reach a point where standing is still good, but it is not going to bring you peace. You can reach that point when you stand so long, okay? Until, it's just not going to bring you no peace. But it is building you up in your inner person, or some say in your inner man. So I ask you the question again. If not just standing, what do you do when there's nothing you can do? Oh, pray, pray, pray. That's what the church says. Pray, pray, pray. You know, that wife and her prayer group, they prayed and they prayed. Jesus prayed throughout his ministry. Jesus prayed in public, in private, in the valley, in the mountains, on the sea, on the land. He prayed. So we must pray because we do what Jesus did. Jesus prayed. And then he reached the Garden of Gethsemane, where he prayed, where there was blood oozing through his pores, okay? I don't know if you've ever prayed that hard, but Jesus prayed so hard in the Garden of Gethsemane until actual blood was pouring through his, where only really perspiration should have been coming, it was blood. Jesus reached a point where he got up from prayer. At Gethsemane, Jesus became prayed out or prayed up. And I believe in what the Apostle Paul says, in 1 Thessalonians 5:16, pray without ceasing. Yet, even with prayer, you can reach a point where you have prayed and cried out and even had people praying for you until they got tired of your issue. And then everybody, you and them, you just became prayed out. So Jesus got up from prayer and he walked to the cross. Like me, you probably know of people who have prayed about something all night until they just couldn't pray anymore at that time, okay? There is no sin to reaching a point where you have prayed so hard and so diligently until, Lord, I don't have one more word to pray. I just can't pray no more right now, okay? You can even enter a season where you may not be able to pray for a while, and that does not mean you lost your salvation. It is just a point. It is just if you could say a point on the road of your moving forward. Prayer is good, okay? But don't think that when you get to the point where you cannot pray, where you are prayed out, that you are losing your faith. You're not. You're not. In fact, you're probably building your faith up more, okay? Think about the old church mothers back in the day when they would walk around moaning because they had no more words. They had run out of words. So, if it's not standing, if it's not prayer, okay, and those things are good. But if those will not get you to your destination, if you don't have a guarantee that those good things will get you to your destination, so what do you do when there's nothing that you can do? Well, let me tell you, on the cross, after Jesus had done it all in human life, and he is approaching death, there is one particular thing that he did or still did. He showed us what to do when there is nothing that you can do. When you can't find a way to go, when you can't find your direction, okay, when you can't get a strategy, when family keeps bugging out no matter what you do, when you know that what's about to happen is exactly what you don't want to happen, when the doctor runs out of remedies and the pain still comes. What do you do when you're waiting for something and the money does not fall out of heaven? What do you do? Even if you stand at a graveside and you wish you could pull them back, but there is nothing you can do. What do you do when happens? The only thing to do It's what Jesus was showing us on that cross in his helpless situation, the helpless situation that he chose to put himself into. This is what he did. Jesus' actions were saying to us, I love you to death, okay? I love you to death. I've done all I can do for you on the earth. I completed my assignment, and now I will continue to love you, but in another realm. But you and Almighty God got to take it from here, okay? I've done all I can do for you. I've loved you to death. All the things that Jesus did in his earthly life and throughout his death on the cross were all about love. Love was that heartbeat that was pumping behind everything that he did. Love came to earth. Love was suffering and bleeding on that cross. And Jesus still loves us, yet in a love that we now have to reach into, really, through faith. In your life, love will go where you cannot go. You can wear yourself out until you're dead. You can pray all night. You can fast all day. You can stand forever. And you should do all of those things and more. But realize, don't be result oriented. The only thing that is really result oriented is love. And we don't control the love. We give it, okay? But we don't control, we don't drive love. In fact, love drives us. And let me tell you something. Love will get you through in its own time, into the nooks and the crannies that you don't even know exist. Love works in spite of us. And I want to repeat it. Fast, pray, stand, do all of those great things. But don't be so locked into thinking what you are doing in those things are going to produce the results that you want. They may help to build you up to stand, okay, to be strong, to stand, to pray, to fast, all of that, until God gives you the final decision on the thing that you are believing for. But it is love. Only God controls love, okay? We don't really, we give it, but we don't control it. And praise God that we don't, okay? In many ways, praise God that God is in charge of it. In John 3:16, it reads, and you know this, but God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. The Father allowed those things to happen to his son because you and I and the people of the world could not make it happen. But love, in spite of us, made it happen. The Bible says in 1 Corinthians 13:13, another familiar verse, and now these three things remain. After you've done everything you can, these three things remain: faith, hope, love. But the greatest, the most powerful of them all is love. So what do when there's nothing you can do? You remember what Jesus did on the cross, and you love God, and you love them, whoever them is, and you love you until death. No matter what it looks like, no matter what they look like, even if they is your own family, you love them, okay? You love them until death. And no matter even what you look like, okay, even your body or your mind looks like, you love even you to death, okay? When you don't know what to do, when there is nothing you can do, don't let go of the love. You love all the way to death, okay? Love, it can almost sound like it's a punk answer, okay? Like somebody, love, it sounds like somebody saying, just telling you really nothing. But it's far more than a punk answer. It is the most powerful thing that exists. Why? How do we know that? Let me tell you why. Because God is love. Okay, the Bible tells us God doesn't just give it. He is his very nature, okay? God can't be separated from love. God is love. Trust the love when you cannot trust anything else, and do like Jesus and love to death. All the way to death means don't let go of the love. So thank you for joining us this week. We pray this will bless you, that this has blessed you, and share it with someone else. Okay, reach out and, share it with somebody. Okay, share the love, all right? And we hope you will join us again next Wisdom Wednesday. If you need to reach us, the best way is through our website at www.ffiministries.com. God bless you.